this is a project that the History Society have been thinking about, working towards for a number of years, and we're delighted it's finally come to fruition, and we're really thrilled to have the Mayor here and John Hutson, who actually worked at the pharmacy when Kenneth White was here, and also Jenny Zizi, I'm going to get the pronunciation wrong, Zizi, whose father worked at Wisley and helped Kenneth White, who's also here today. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to the Mayor, who probably knows how to hold a microphone better than I do.
I wouldn't guarantee that, actually. I'm just going to stand a bit further.
That's it.
Do you mind if I stand this side and then you can do the photographs later? Because I think it's going to squeal otherwise. Well, thank you very much, all of you. What a fantastic crowd we've got here. Not all war heroes were in uniform, and today we're unveiling a plaque to commemorate a remarkable man, Kenneth, who I think was known as Ken White, and he originally trained at Brighton Technical College and qualified as a pharmacist in 1938 with his long-term friend and partner, Jack Ellard. Ken had rather poor eyesight and was not eligible for active service. So when the war came, he went into medical supplies, and he eventually formed his own company, first in Leicester, and then in Ripley. He moved into these premises in 1943, and he modernised the premises and began to run a pharmacy. In 1944, he began producing penicillin with improvised equipment. I gather he bought all his own equipment, and one of the things he actually had was an old ice cream refrigerator. Now, in those days, penicillin was only provided to the military. No civilians were entitled to it, but Ken was determined that civilians should not be denied the wonder cure. So, working with various local men, Donald Green, whose daughter is here, I've lost her now, but she was here a minute ago, he was a plant pathologist, I think, up at Wisley, Raleigh Crete, who was the local doctor, and Dr. Matson, who was the pathologist at Surrey County Hospital. And he worked with these people to produce free penicillin for the local populace. Now, this was not actually popular with officialdom, and initially Ken faced an inquiry which is likened to a quarter-star chamber, because they were really very unhappy that he was taking the law into his own hands, as they saw it. But in the end, they relented when they realised that he was giving the drug away free. So the business flourished, and Jack Ellard joined his friend when he left the Navy, and they ran the business together. And then in 1951, Ken sold the business due to ill health, and he travelled widely after that, but actually lived to the age of 78 and died in Horsley in 1993. So when you look back at Ken's achievement, it was really quite remarkable, and one has to admire his altruism and his desire to make penicillin free for everybody. I would like to particularly thank Send and Ripley History Society for providing these facts, because you may not be surprised to know that I didn't know them beforehand. I would also like to say a particular thank you to Cellar Wines for sponsoring the plaque and allowing it to be put up here on their premises. And then there's one person who I think we've really got to make a particular mention to, and that is John Hutson here, who actually is, I hope I've said it right, John, because John was here right from the start. You were telling me that you actually started in 1943 as a... 1944, I'm sorry.
Ken bought the business December the 1st, 43, and that offered me a job, and I joined him on January 5th, 44.
Okay, for those that you couldn't hear, Ken bought the business on the 1st of December 1943, And John started working on the 5th of January 1944, and he then worked here for 50 years.
I did. Yes.
Yes, you did. Yeah, no, Ken, we know. Stop. But so John has got a much greater knowledge of all of this, and will be delighted, I'm sure, to tell everybody exactly what happened. But I mean, it really is quite an extraordinary thing to have something like this in Ripley. I was absolutely amazed when I was first told about it. And so I'm absolutely delighted to be able to unveil this plaque and to commemorate this very special man. Well, thank you very much. So now we're going to do the plaque. Now the way we're going to do that, John, do you want to open it? Or yeah, I think that's why I was keeping away from that. You're taller for a start, and I think it's much more appropriate that you should. Right. So hang on. What we're going to do is we're going to count it down. So we'll go from 3. Hang on, wait a minute. Somebody's going to help you. So you ready? 3, 2, 1. And then I think we'll have 3 cheers for luck. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
Well done.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well done.